Welcome to Better English.
Speak English with confidence.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Better English podcast. My name is David. I am very happy to be here with you today. We have a great show planned for all our listeners.
Hello, everyone. I am Grace. It is a beautiful day to practice English together. David, I am really excited about today's topic. I think it is one of the most important things for our students to learn.
I agree with you, Grace. Today we are talking about a big secret. The secret is how to think in English like a pro. Many students ask us, David, Grace, how can I stop translating in my head? This is a very common question.
It is so common. Many students feel stuck. They want to speak, but they feel like their brain is a slow computer. They have an idea in their first language, they try to find the English words, and then they try to speak. It takes a lot of time.
That is exactly right. Translating is like a long bridge. You have to walk across the whole bridge before you can say one sentence. It is very tiring for the brain. It makes you feel nervous when you talk to people.
Yes, and when you are nervous, you forget the words you already know. But today, we want to help you build a new path. We want to help you go directly from your thoughts to your English words. We call this thinking in English.
Some people believe this is only for people who live in an English-speaking country, or they think you need to be a level C1 or C2 learner, but that is not true. You can start thinking in English at level A2 or B1. You can start today.
That is a very encouraging thought, David. Even with simple words and simple grammar, you can change the way your mind works. It is like a muscle. You have to train it every day.
Exactly. We are going to share 5 easy steps in this episode. These are practical steps. You can do them at home, at work, or even when you are walking in the park. We want to make this very easy for you to follow.
We will talk about things like labeling your world. We will talk about your internal monologue. That is just a fancy way of saying the voice in your head. We will even talk about how to use your phone to help you.
Before we start with step 1, I want to say thank you to everyone listening. We see your comments and your support. If you like this podcast, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us help more students around the world.
Yes, thank you so much. Your support means everything to us. Now, David, are you ready to explain why thinking in English is better than translating? Let's explain the difference one more time so it is very clear for our friends.
I am ready, Grace. When you translate, you are using 2 languages at the same time. Your brain is working double. But when you think in English, you are only using 1. It is faster, it is smoother, it feels more natural.
It is like driving a car. At first, you think about every move. You think about the feet and the hands. But later, you just drive. Thinking in English is the same. We want to help you just drive your English conversations.
That is a great example. So, in this part of the show, we are setting the stage. We want you to relax. Take a deep breath. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be ready to try something new.
This episode is for you. If you want to feel more like a pro. A pro is someone who is efficient. They use what they have very well. That is our goal for you today. Let's get started with the first big part of our lesson.
Let's start with step number 1. This step is very simple. I call it labeling your world. This means you look at the things around you and you name them in English. You do not think of the word in your first language. You only think of the English word.
I love this idea, David. It is very practical. When you are a child, you learn your first language this way. You see a dog and you say dog. You don't translate it from another language. We can do the same as adults.
Exactly. You can start in one room. Let's imagine you are in your kitchen. Look around you. What do you see? You see a table. You see a chair. You see a window. You see a refrigerator. You see a cup. You don't say the word in your language. You look at the object and your brain says cup.
Yes, exactly. I do this in my office too. I look at my desk and I think computer. I look at my cup and I think, coffee. I don't think about the word in my native language. I go straight to the English word.
Yes, it really works. You can even use real labels if you want. You can take small pieces of paper and write the English word on them. Then, you stick the paper on the object. For example, you put a label that says door on the door. You put a label that says mirror on the mirror.
I remember doing that when I was learning Spanish. My whole house was covered in yellow notes. It was very funny, but it really helped me. Every time I opened the fridge, I saw the word. After 2 days, I didn't need the note anymore.
It is very powerful. When you do this, you are building a direct connection. You are connecting the image of the object to the English word. You are cutting out the middle step. You are cutting out the translation.
It's also about speed. If you see a chair and think chair, you save 1 or 2 seconds. In a conversation, 2 seconds is a very long time. This step makes you a faster speaker.
That is a great point, Grace. You can even add colors or sizes to make it a bit more advanced. Instead of just chair, you can think green chair or big table. This helps you start thinking in small groups of words.
That is true. You can say the small cup or the blue pen. This helps you think in phrases, not just single words. It makes your English feel more natural.
I think the best time is in the morning. When you wake up, look at your bed and think bed. Look at your shoes and think shoes. It only takes 1 second, but it prepares your brain for the rest of the day.
That is a great tip. The morning is the best time to train your brain. If you start with English at 7 a.m., it is much easier to continue for the rest of the day.
Exactly. This is step 1. It is the foundation. If you can name the world around you in English, you are already thinking in English. Now, Grace, what is step number 2 for our listeners?
Step number 2 is even more active. It is about describing what is happening right now.
Step number 2 is very exciting. Now that you can name the objects, you need to describe what you are doing. We call this the action monologue. You become the narrator of your own life. You speak about your actions using very simple sentences.
I like that name, the action monologue. It sounds like you are the star of a movie. You are simply describing your life as it happens.
Yes, exactly. For example, when I am in the kitchen in the morning, I talk to myself in my head. I think, I am opening the cupboard. Then, I am taking a glass. Then, I am pouring some water. It is a simple subject, a verb, and an object. $S plus V plus $O.
This is great because it uses the present continuous tense. For example, I am drinking coffee. Or, I am sitting on the sofa. These are very useful sentences. We use them all the time in real English conversations.
That is okay. If you don't know the word for pouring, you can just say, I am taking the water. The goal is not to have perfect grammar. The goal is to keep the English flowing in your mind without stopping to translate.
That is very important, David. Don't stop the flow. If you don't know pouring, just say putting. I am putting water in the glass. It is better to use a simple word than to stop and think for 1 minute.
I do it all the time. When I am walking to the bus stop, I think, I am walking. I am looking at the trees. The bus is coming. I am getting on the bus. It feels a bit funny at first, but it is like a game for your brain.
It is like a game. I do it when I am cleaning my house. I think, I am cleaning the window. I am washing the dishes. It makes the work more interesting, and I am practicing my English at the same time.
It really does. It makes the language real. It is not just words in a book anymore. It is your life. And because you do these actions every day, you use the same words every day. This repetition makes the English words very strong in your memory.
And you don't need a partner for this. You can do this alone. This is perfect for students who are shy or don't have anyone to practice with. You are your own partner.
That is a very good question. If you are in a public place, like on a train or in a shop, you don't have to speak out loud. You can just speak in your head. No one will know. You are just practicing your internal English voice.
I agree. The internal voice is very quiet, but in your mind, it should be very clear. I am standing in line. I am waiting for the bus. This is training your brain to stay in English for longer periods of time.
Exactly. Just keep it simple. Don't try to use complex tenses like the present perfect or the passive voice yet. Just use the present continuous. I am doing this. She is doing that. It is enough to start thinking like a pro.
That is the perfect advice. Keep it simple and keep it moving. If you can describe your day, you are already thinking like a pro.
Now we are at step number 3. This is a very important step because many students get stuck here. What happens when you want to think of a word but you don't know it? Most students stop, get nervous, and then use a dictionary.
Oh, I know that feeling. It is very frustrating. You have a great idea, but you are missing one word, and then everything stops. You feel like you cannot speak at all.
Exactly! We want you to stop using the dictionary for every small word. Instead, we want you to play a game. I call it the Guess the Word game, or circumlocution. That is a big word, but it just means talking around the word.
Talking around the word. I like that. It is like a puzzle. You describe the thing because you don't have the name for it.
Let's try it. Imagine I am in the kitchen and I forget the word for refrigerator. I don't stop. I think in English, the big white box that keeps the food cold. I used simple words I already know to describe the big word I forgot.
That is a perfect description, David. Anyone would understand you mean a refrigerator. And you didn't need to look at your phone or a book. You stayed in the conversation.
It is very helpful. It keeps your brain in English mode. If you stop to look at a dictionary, your brain goes back to your first language. Then you have to start the English engine all over again.
Exactly. It is like a fire. If you put water on the fire, it goes out. Using a dictionary is like putting water on your English fire. But using descriptions is like adding more wood. The fire keeps burning.
That is the best part of this technique. When you describe things, you are actually practicing more English. You are using 3 or 4 sentences instead of just one word. You are building fluency through description.
I agree. Often, we use more English when we don't know a word. It is a great way to learn how to explain complex things with simple words. That is a very important skill for fluency.
Yes, let's try another one. Grace, if I forget the word for umbrella, what can I say? I can say, the thing I use when it is raining to stay dry. Everyone understands that. It is simple, clear, and most importantly, it is English.
Exactly. The rain hat or the rain house. It doesn't matter if it's not the exact word. The important thing is that the other person knows what you mean, and you never stopped thinking in English.
That is right. Don't be a perfectionist. A pro is someone who can communicate even when they don't have all the tools. Use the words you have to explain the words you don't have.
That is such a good point. A pro is someone who can solve problems. If you forget a word, solve the problem with the words you already know.
Step number 4 is about your environment, specifically your digital environment. We spend many hours every day looking at our phones, our computers, and our televisions. Most of the time, these devices are in our first language.
It's true. Our phones are a huge part of our lives. We look at them maybe 100 times a day. That is 100 opportunities to see English words.
Yes, it is a very big step, but it is very effective. If you change your phone settings to English, you will see English words every time you check the time, or your messages, or the weather. You will see settings, calendar, messages, and battery.
It feels a bit scary at first. People think, what if I get lost or what if I can't find my photos? But you already know how to use your phone. You know the positions of the buttons.
That is the secret. Because you already know where the buttons are, you don't need to translate. You know that the blue icon is for messages. Now your brain sees the word messages and connects it to that icon. It is automatic labeling.
Yes! You are not learning the phone. You are just learning the names for things you already do. When you see edit, you know what that means. When you see search, you know what that means. It makes English part of your daily habits.
You can also do this with your social media. If you use Instagram or Facebook, change the language to English. You will see like, comment, share, and followers. You see these words hundreds of times a week. Your brain starts to think in these words naturally.
I did this with my social media last year. At first, it was strange to see notifications instead of the word in my language. But after 1 week, it felt normal. Now, I prefer it in English.
Before we move to the final step, I want to remind our listeners again, if you are finding these tips helpful, please like the video. It helps us grow. And if you are new here, subscribe to Better English for more episodes like this one.
That is right, David. We love making these episodes for you. Subscribing is a small thing for you, but it is a big thing for us. It helps us continue to provide these free lessons.
It really does. Even your GPS or your Maps app. When you are driving or walking, let the voice speak to you in English. Turn left in 200 meters. It is a great way to practice listening and thinking at the same time.
I love that. Turn right. Go straight. These are simple directions. If you can follow a GPS in English, you can follow a conversation in English. It is very practical.
Exactly. You are building an English bubble around yourself. You don't need to travel to London or New York to be in an English environment. You can create one right in your pocket.
An English bubble in your pocket. I love that idea. You don't need a plane ticket, you just need to change your settings.
We have reached step number 5. This is the final step to help you think like a pro. This step is about your internal monologue. This is the voice in your head that thinks about your day, your problems, and your plans.
This is the most advanced step, but it is also the most rewarding. It is where you truly start to live in the language.
Yes, we all have that voice. Usually, it speaks in our native language. But you can train it to speak English. Start by planning your day in English. When you are lying in bed in the morning, think, "Today I have a meeting at 10. Then I will go to the gym. Then I will buy some groceries."
Planning is a great way to start. We all think about what we need to do. I need to call my mom. I need to finish my work. If you can say these things to yourself in English, you are training your brain to use English for your real life, not just for a classroom.
That is okay. You can start with just 1 minute a day, only 1 minute of English thoughts. Then, next week, try 2 minutes. It is about making it a habit. A habit is something you do without thinking. That is the definition of a pro.
That is great advice. Don't try to do it all day. Start small. Even thinking I am tired or I am hungry in English is a win. Every small thought is a victory for your English brain.
Let's summarize our 5 steps for everyone. Step 1. Label the objects around you. Step 2. Describe your daily actions in simple sentences. Step 3. Describe words you don't know instead of using a dictionary.
Don't forget the last 2.
Exactly. And step 4. Change your phone and social media to English. And finally, step 5. Start your internal monologue in English, even if it is just for a few minutes a day.
It sounds like a lot, but if you do one thing every day, it becomes easy very quickly. It has been so much fun talking about this with you today, David.
It has been a pleasure, Grace. And to all our listeners, remember, you are doing a great job. Learning a language is a journey. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are just proof that you are trying.
That is so true. Every pro was once a beginner. They just didn't stop. They kept going.
Thank you for listening to Better English. We hope you feel more confident about thinking in English today. Keep practicing, keep thinking, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. Happy thinking!
Your English journey does not end here. Watch more videos and keep practicing.